So the other day at my VersaClimber class, I went back to look at the little book exchange, and I saw a book that caught my eye this time. And it is called The Art of Friendship. It caught my eye because I was thinking, man, I've gotten so comfortable just hanging around at home watching YouTube videos. I don't even go out anymore. I don't want to go out anymore. I don't have any friends anymore. I'm like, this seems like a good book for me. And I wanted to share this with you guys because the number one tip on the very first page is talk to someone you've never met. Okay, rule number one, reach out to someone you don't know. So I read that on Saturday and I thought on Sunday, wherever I go, I'm going to talk to someone I don't know. So when I went to my boot camp class, we all took a picture afterward. The teacher said that he wanted it for his Instagram. And the woman next to me was like, I'm super sweaty, you know. I'm like, I don't smell anything. And then I asked her name and she told me her name. So that was number one. And I told her what I was doing with trying to make new friends. And she said, well, I started coming here to this group class because I want to make new friends. I go to the gym, I don't talk to anyone, so I'm coming here to this group class so I can make new friends. And she said, what made you decide to make new friends? I told her about the book. So next time I see her, I'm going to say hi to her. I did remember her name. And then Sunday afternoon, I went to the winery. I'm a member of the wine club at this winery. I'm actually having some of their Cabernet Sauvignon right now. It's so yummy. And every 3 months, we go and pick up our wines. We get 4 wines. It's either reds or whites or both. And then we can sign up for the day that we want to pick up the wines. Of course, we pay. They charge us for it first. And usually I go and I pick up my wines, and I've always gone by myself. I've probably been to 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 wine pickups. I've gone there occasionally just to have a glass of wine or buy some wine. I don't talk to anyone, but because of this book, I decided I was going to talk to some people. So they have it set up very nicely. So when you go to pick up your wine on the wine pickup day for the members, they let you sample 6 different wines. So when you sign in, you get this little paper with your name on it. And the 5 or 6 wines you can sample with a line next to it. When you go to each station to get your little sample, they check you off. So I got my first glass of wine with my little charcuterie bowl, and I decided I was going to sit down next to someone. I've never done this before. And I found a table. I just let my intuition or my feelings guide me. I just went by where I felt like going. And I saw this very nice couple, probably my age, and I walked over and I said, do you mind if I join you? And she was sitting here, he was sitting across from her, so I sat 2 chairs over. Like, I didn't just scoot in right next to her because it was a long table and there was no one else on it. I scoot 1 seat over, and I introduced myself and they introduced themselves, and I thought I would just have a sip of wine with them. I didn't really know what to talk about. I started thinking, this is very awkward. I don't know what to talk about. And so I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I'll be okay with the silence. We don't have to talk. I'm just sitting here, and they're kind of conversing. And we just started talking, and I spent an hour with them. They were telling me about the wine clubs they go to and what they've learned about wines, and what they were just very sweet. And then she got my phone number. I got her phone number, so I'm going to go with her to the next wine tasting event. And I just thought about how these people and how that enriched my life. If I would have just gone to pick up the wine, I would have just kind of come home and watched more YouTube videos, but they were actually very interesting. And then also I had a client over the other day, and I did invite him to stay after we made the videos for my Just for Fans, and we just hung out and we talked, and you know, I gave him some sandwiches and I had a drink. He doesn't drink. And so we just sat out here in my living room. And that just goes to about guys. After guys come, A lot of them do just want to hang out and talk. I think the guys that, okay, I'm going to get off topic a little bit. I think the guys that when they come, they just want to leave are the guys that didn't put much thought into who they were going to be with. It's the guys that were like, I think this could be a bad idea, but I'm horny, so I'm going to go for it. And then as soon as they come, they're like, what did I do? I got to get out of here. But when the guys put a little bit of thought into it, and they find the woman somewhat interesting, they like to hang out and talk. And that's my experience of working with men, is after they have a release, they do like to hang out and talk. And I talk with a lot of them. And I find that also very fulfilling, but that's not the same as making friends, because these are clients and I don't even reach out to them. But the point of making these friendships and the point of this book is to get out of our comfort zone and initiate a conversation with someone, making a new friend. They do talk in here about making eye contact, so that's another thing I worked on, because often when I talk, I'm thinking and I'm not looking at the person while I'm talking. And I was aware that this was a bad habit. And I know I even sometimes do it when I make my YouTube videos. So when I was talking on Saturday and on Sunday with these people that I'm mentioning, I was really trying hard and remembering to look at them while I talk, to not look away and think, but to be present with them and look at them while I'm talking. They also make a good point in this book that it takes all kinds of people to be friends, and that you don't have to, not all friendships have to be a certain way. And that's a good thing too, because I had a friend I really liked. I miss her friendship so much, but we used to meet. She lives in LA County and I live in San Diego. We would meet halfway, like in San Clemente, and have lunch at one of these restaurants, and it was really nice. And sometimes she came over here. I did some coaching with her, and I really found her very interesting. And then I started thinking, well, if we're friends, we gotta like evolve our friendship, make more of a friendship. And I said, like, maybe we should do an art class together. Maybe we should have breakfast instead of lunch. And she didn't like all of that. And I realized that that's why I ruined the friendship, because when I started asking for those things, she got kind of turned off. And I didn't know that I could just have her as like a friend that's just for lunch. And they do talk about that in the book, that you can have a friend that you just meet for coffee. You don't even have to know where they live. You can have all kinds of different friendships. You know, maybe someone you just see at work or just see at the gym and you have a coffee with them. You don't, not everybody has to be like a really close friend that you do everything with and that comes to your house for Thanksgiving. I also reflect about the people I know that have friends. And what these people do is they instigate, they invite people over, they initiate connections. Some people are just very good and comfortable with it. Some people have had the same connections all the way going back to grade school that they keep on to their adult years for decades. But these people initiate connections, and I'm thinking about examples I can give you, like calling somebody up and saying, hey, you know, like some guys will have a group of buddies that every year they go on a trip with the guys. Maybe they're friends from college or from the military, and it'll be like 3 or 4 or 5 guys. They always go together every year. Or it could be someone that you know from college still, or people that you work with, and you instigate a get together. You're like, hey, you guys want to come over and play Scrabble tonight? And I'll make a dinner, I'll get a pizza, I'll make some soup. And there are guys, like masculine guys, who will like also enjoy lighting a candle at home, making a dinner, inviting their friends over. It doesn't have to be a thing that just women do. So you have to do things to foster connection. You have to, I guess, I watch these people as like, they go and see their friend. Oh, my friend moved, so I'm going to go visit my friend in this other city. I'm going to have this phone call with my friend. Some women will do this. Every Thursday at 7, I have a call with this friend. So, and it turns out to be really rewarding, which I forgot about because I got so comfortable just being home by myself. And I just realized that it can be very enriching to be around good people. Um, and so I was really glad that I reached out and did that. And I decided to try some new things. I signed up for a new type. I decided to try some hot yoga. Tomorrow I'm going to go to a hot yoga class because every guy I've ever fucked who was good in bed does hot yoga. I mean, there's some that don't do hot yoga that are good in bed, but the hot yoga guys are good in bed. So I'm like, I need to get some good sex. And the thing about the hot yoga that's really good is because they're not listening to music, they're really tuned into their body. For a guy to be good at sex, he has to be embodied and he has to be calm. And I think men who practice things where they have to be calm, it could even be martial arts, yoga, cold yoga, hot yoga, whatever. They're really tuned into their body and they're calm. They're not listening to music while they're working out because they're really tuning inward. They're embodied in this inner silence. And having sex with a guy who's in this inner, I always have to end up with sex somehow. I got off the friendship topic, but having sex with a guy who's strong and embodied and tender with me is like the most amazing thing that you will ever find to what feels like love to me. And I want more of it. So I decided, even though I hate yoga, I'm going to give it another try. Now tomorrow when I go, it's in the daytime. It's just going to be moms there. And if I like it, I'm going to start going on the weekends when there are men there. And I'm going to, try to make some friendship connections with the men there. Single men, of course. But anyway, this video was just to talk about the book because so many people are like trying to meet other people online. I really think it's a good idea to meet people in real life. And the best way to meet people really is just to talk to people at wherever you're going to, whether it's, for me, it was the wine tasting event, it was the gym. I did watch an interview the other day by one of the founders of Google, or he was one of the head up people. He was married for 20 years, and he was talking about the dating app that he made called Emma, which you guys might want to check out. It's more like getting to know yourself emotionally before you start dating. And he says that the online dating thing is just not his app is different, but it's just a meat market. And that he has never, and this is like a very rich guy that probably a lot of women would want just because he's rich, but he said he has never in his life just gone up to a woman in a coffee shop or something. That is not how people actually meet. And so you don't think that you have to, guys, if you're watching this, approach a woman in a coffee shop or in the grocery store and strike up a conversation. Like, that's a thing that not even this very rich guy from Google that made this app, Emma, has ever done or would ever do. I think it's just more organic to just get involved in other activities that you like and just start talking to the people who are there. It's easy and I do want to say it's easy for me to talk to women. I think that men should start by making friendships with other men. It's healthy for men to have friendships with other men. So get comfortable talking to other men before you talk to women. I think women have to get comfortable talking to other women before we talk to other men. And then we kind of get a feel for if people are really interested in us as well. I'm really glad I got this book. So I'm going to keep going through the book. And maybe I'll make some more videos about it. This book was written quite a while ago. And I kind of like that I got it from this book exchange at this place where I do my VersaClimber class. I think that's kind of cool that I got it at a book exchange. So I have to bring it back when I'm done with it. So anyway, if you guys have any tips on making friends, let me know, because it's something that doesn't come that easy to me, because I have found people difficult, annoying, complicated, and like it takes so much effort when I listen to them talk. But actually, you know, earlier today I had a talk with my sister, and she was so funny. And after 2 years of not talking to her, I'm glad we're talking again. And it was really funny. And there are people who can enrich our lives, but there are also people who can drain our lives, you know. So it's just fun to, I'm just excited about meeting new people right now. I'm just excited. So it's time. So anyway, thanks for watching my video, you guys.